Yeah, yep.
Okay, so we are at the firehouse tonight. Being town meeting, we gave the ballot counters full run of the building. So this is the March 1st meeting of the Planning Commission, Bristol Planning Commission. It is 7:07. We'll call the meeting to order. First item is to review the agenda for any additions, removals, or adjustments. I have nothing. Does anybody else have anything? Okay, we'll assume it's intact and approve this such. So we'll go to item number 2, or section 2, item approval of minutes of 2:1. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes? Tom approves, Melissa seconds, I would say, by the looks of things. Is there any discussion? If not, everybody in favor of approving the minutes, say aye, raise your hand. Aye. Okay, unanimous. Good. Next item is zoning administrator's report. Chris, do you have anything?
I have nothing to see.
Okay, short and sweet.
Yep.
I did add a discussion line for ARPA Advisory Committee, which Rob has graciously agreed to represent the Planning Commission. I think you're still in the starting stages, Rob, but do you have anything to highlight?
The first meeting is next Monday, so we have not convened yet. After that, we'll have more to report.
Great, thank you. So the next item is miscellaneous correspondence. Seems like there's a lot going on in the background this month. The Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee is gearing up. There are 2 sets of minutes. Their meeting is the 3rd Thursday of the month, and us being the first Tuesday. It's kind of nip and tuck as to whether we'll get them or not for the meeting. There might be a gap in the minutes, but they're out there. They're in the process of organizing. Anybody who's interested in obviously can read the minutes. The Bristol Democratic Committee is planning on hosting a Bristol Climate Change Forum and has asked the Planning Commission to participate in that. The meeting was originally planned for March 7th, but it's been postponed to the 13th. I've agreed to be part of that panel. As part of that activity, anybody that's on the Planning Commission is certainly welcome to attend and participate when that comes up. We'll have another meeting before that actually happens, so I can remind you again about that. There was a select board meeting on the 21st of February where they considered whether to go remote or not. I did send them an email indicating our level of activity with a hybrid meeting. As it turns out that they decided to continue with a hybrid meeting, so we will continue with that format. Had a question from an individual about Planning Commission's position with respect to the Rec Club and Bristol Trail Network. I believe the Bristol Trail Network is considering expanding their trail system a little bit, so obviously somebody has some questions. I emailed that out to everybody today, or was it today or yesterday?
It was yesterday.
Late yesterday. I had received the request and Chris and I penned up a response, and that just got taken care of after the agenda went out. So I emailed that out to everybody with the question and the response for your information, just so that you know what's going on. It's there are 2 pages in that, so it'd be the 2nd page. Yeah.
And I actually should see the gentleman tomorrow and also have a discussion with him, see if there's any further questions.
Yeah. He did respond back to me that he seemed happy with the response that we ended up for him, so he may or may not have any continued questions.
So I'll see you tomorrow, just touch base, just make sure he's good to go.
Yep, okay. We've got a booklet, which is, we've seen it as a PDF. It's called Enabling Better Places. I guess it's a bonus for a grant award. Books are here, and people that are here obviously are going to pick one up. Anybody else, I'll have Sharon send them out, mail them out to you. So the rest of the commission, you should see one in the mail out to this in the future. It is the same thing that the PDF is. Got a picture of Bristol on the front cover, so we're doing something right, I guess. The conservation, excuse me, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just wondering, can that be sent to my business address?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I might just drop one off if, when I take them back down to town hall. But yeah, we'll do that. So the Conservation Committee and it weaves into the town plan that they are working on management plans for parks and whatnot. They submitted for information to review the draft management plan for Memorial Park, which I sent as part of the package and went to Valerie as well. More information than anything else. It's good to see them as a committee that's assigned tasks working on. I signed a resolution. The town is seeking a grant underneath the Downtown Transportation Fund grant. And their form of resolution, or their letter of resolution, requires the select board to sign off on it. Actually, this planning commission needed to sign off of it and of support of it as well. So Valerie explained to me that if it is successful, along with some other grants that she's applying for, they'd be looking at improvements to Basin Street, where it fits into our town plan once again, as far as transportation infrastructure concerns. So I think that's it for miscellaneous correspondence that's been in and out. Has anybody got any questions or comments regarding any of those items?
Just the two meetings you mentioned, are those going to be available like Zoom, or are they only in person, or do you know?
Which meetings are they?
Yeah, the bike and pedestrians and that climate change. meeting.
I don't know. It's a publicly warned meeting. But I'll follow up with that if you want. I'm not sure whether they're totally remote or hybrid or whatever. But I'll get that information and send it out to everybody.
All right, thank you.
The Democratic Party's climate change forum that they're gonna have, I believe is gonna be remote.
Yeah, that's 100% required.
Yeah.
So Melissa, the pedestrian advisory committee one, their last meeting, they did a hybrid of it. Actually, it looks like I lied. They did all Zoom. So the agendas are posted out on the website, right on the front page of the town website.
Satisfy that? You're muted. Okay. Any other questions about stuff underneath miscellaneous correspondence? Okay. So we'll go to item 3, continuing business. A, discussion UVM intern. So I've got egg on my face.
Did you find the email?
I believe it was one of these things where I talked to this Meg somebody, and she had, in one meeting, she did say that, I think it was an Amy was gonna get a hold of me. And I never saw anything, And that, I don't know what that means, if it ended up in my spam bucket, she got the address wrong, but I went back through both my personal and my account I've got set up for planning commission, I couldn't see it, so anyway, I was talking to Meg about not catching up and getting information, and then she's assuming talking to this other person too, I believe. But anyway, we missed the window of having an intern assigned to us for the spring semester. And I don't know if that's a big deal or not. We were walking down a path to have them do a physical survey and whatnot. We're still in the stages of selecting a consultant, if you will. So we were kind of getting some things done ahead of time, but it may not be the end of the world if you know, since we've lost that opportunity. Yeah, when I talked to her originally, she seemed quite excited about what we were looking for an intern to do. That would be a great thing for somebody to do and everything. So I think she was pretty pleased with the way we laid out the program. But unfortunately, we had a communication mix-up. So, is there any questions or comments about that? Rob?
Do they do the same thing in the fall, or is this only a spring semester activity through their curriculum?
I don't know. I believe they do it spring and fall, and it's an ongoing. The program is designed. It's an internship, so there is some classroom involved with it. But as I understand, the program is designed to get people that are interested in participating on a civic level. Some opportunity to work with towns and municipalities on various projects. So, and it appears that they do it both semesters, and it probably is a very, you know, they have different people of interest or what have you, and continue doing that on a regular basis. Can't remember the name of the office that she goes by, but it's like Vermont government or something like that. Anything else?
And they don't do anything in the summer for like local students.
Didn't sound that way from her.
No, I think the next window of opportunity is the fall.
Okay.
And it was, I was happy to make the priority for the fall.
I'm sorry, I'm still here. I'm gonna have to just blank the video because my dog's acting up. So I'll be right. I'm still listening.
It's all good.
Get.
Okay. Any other questions or comments about that?
I
I
mean, the
don't
only
think it was your
comment
fault,
I'd say-
Kevin.
What's that?
Said, I don't think it was your fault. I think they just messed up and somehow.
I don't want to be that. It's just miscommunication, and however it rolled
We'll leave it
out,
at that.
the way it is. Yep.
Yeah,
I mean, and as I reiterated in my email back to Kevin when he mentioned this isn't the end of the world. Actually, it may actually be a good thing. It felt like we were trying to race to try to figure out how to shoehorn a survey that you all didn't quite have hashed out exactly what you wanted them to do. And now it gives you the winter to sort of really get your head around it. We'll have a consultant at that point, find out what kind of data they want gathered, and then be able to formulate an actual useful data set for us to work from.
Thank you. Next item is the bylaw modernization grant activity. So RFPs went out a little bit later than what I had planned on the last meeting. It took me a little bit of a while, it took me longer than it should have to update the RFP, and then Valerie took more time than I thought she would because it was wrapped right in, folded right in with the town meeting prep. So we got it out a little bit late. We moved the date down to March 9th, which my original thought was we would tonight be reviewing proposals, but with that March 9th date in mind, I'm suggesting that we have a meeting on the third Tuesday, which will be the 15th, pretty much limited to reviewing those proposals. And the intent would be to have information out to everybody ahead of time, and then we could go through a discussion of merit. I believe, and I don't know this for sure, but I believe the way this will happen is the proposal set up to have two different submittals or files, if you will. One will be qualifications, the other will be price. I believe, I don't know this, but I believe we will be looking at qualifications and looking at ranking any interested parties based on their capabilities. And then after that, the pricing would be brought out to either align with those quick capabilities or reassess based on cost where we want to go as far as expertise is concerned. So that is what I believe will be happening there. You know what assume means. Thanks to Rob, I did send out an email to Jenny Lavoie asking the question of how we fold in closure. And they are amenable to us holding a vote on town meeting day and considering keeping the grant open a little bit longer so that we can do that, as opposed to shutting our, as opposed to a special election or really cutting down on time to work on the thing. She didn't stress that, we want to clean it up really quickly after town meeting and the results of that vote. If we go ahead and put zoning changes to the population at that time. So I think that's pretty much I have for the bylaw modernization grant activities. Anybody got any questions or comments?
Do we have any idea how many submissions we're likely to get, Kevin? Have we had expressions of interest or?
I have heard nothing. So in my mind, that means we either got a great scope or nobody's bidding it.
Right.
No, I haven't heard anything. So nobody's come my way with questions. I haven't touched base with Valerie to see if she's gotten any interest or not. We posted it. She put an ad in 7 days, which I thought was interesting, but apparently she does that a lot. There is a site that she uses quite a bit that's more aligned to construction contracts as opposed to engineering contracts. I did send it back to community people, and they put it out on a listserv that they use that focuses on engineering consultants. So, and then it's posted publicly as well, and it's on the town website. So I believe we've got good coverage as far as advertising is concerned.
I mean, one of the listers in Moncton mentioned they saw that we were working on our zoning grant art and stuff. So we saw it in 7 days. So
We did.
apparently it's effective. Never once would I would have thought that.
No, I read 7 days, but I would never thought that it had that wide of an appeal. So that's that, I guess. There's no more questions. We'll go on to item 4. So we when we laid it out last year in March after the elections, which are tonight, the select board will reorganize and they will start working on reappointments. They will reorganize themselves and appoint a new chair, which they rotate on a yearly basis. So I'm thinking next meeting will be the April meeting that we have in our bylaws as our organizational meeting. It's one chance during the year to consider bylaw changes. I keep calling them bylaw changes, but they're policies and procedures. Policy and procedure changes, if there's anything in there that's really bothered you all year long. There's one thing in there that I know of. It specifically states that we meet every 3rd Tuesday. So we are not doing that. So we should change that language at the very least. And then I don't know if anybody has any sleeping problems, they can read that and think about any other changes that may be wise to consider, and we'll discuss that and adopt what we need to do at the next meeting, which will also be a reorganization.
Good. Well,
No, we'll do that on whatever the first Tuesday in April is.
okay.
So that'll be the first Tuesday in April. So I'm thinking the 15th will be strictly proposal evaluations. And we will probably do that in executive session too, as we're talking about contracts. So we are down to any questions, comments about the April meeting for organizational purposes?
Yeah, I need to ask a question, but my dog is just being very uncooperative.
All
Stop.
good.
Yeah,
No,
we don't-
get out. Oh my gosh.
Maybe he has something to say.
I don't know. She's saying, play with me now, play with me now. No, I think my term is over in March, is it not? There goes my computer, sorry.
I'm checking that right now.
Yeah,
I think it was only a year.
You're up in 2022, so.
Yeah.
So there's 4 people that are up.
Oh, wow.
Lloyd's up, Rob's up, Tom's up, and you're up, Melissa. So
Okay,
I did send out a little love note today, reminding you of that. And I don't know exactly, from the select board point of view, when they'll be acting on reappointments or whatnot, but in the past, it seems like they've done it over several meetings.
Yeah, it's usually not till, they don't figure it out till April.
Yeah. So, there's something to think about. I have had some response, but everybody's been a great participant, and you certainly add value, you all add value. And from my point of view, I'd love to see you continue, so. Does that help? Does that answer your question, Melissa?
yes, I am really sorry. She's just being absolutely horrendous right now. She was sleeping when the meeting started, so I was hoping for a good evening, but
Yeah, well, no, that's fine.
okay, so, all right, thank you.
Do you have any other questions?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, anybody else have any other questions? We'll move on to public comment then. Any public comment?
Jimmy, you're the only public, so if you got anything to say, now's your minute. You're good to go? Perfect.
I did have a question. I'm sorry. I've
All
been a
good.
little distracted, but the committee that is I don't even know where the paper is. I wrote it down. The pedestrian and bike. That's a committee from who is that? Is that from the select board? What?
Yeah.
Where's it?
So the select board formed this committee and appointed the folks that are on it. About 4 months ago, I think. Maybe not that long ago.
So we can, I can go to that next one and if I have any questions for them, just, it's an open meeting?
It's a public meeting, yes.
Okay,
it
that's
is.
what I thought you said. Okay. All right, that's all I needed. I just wanted to talk to them about the intersection.
Okay,
So,
so we don't have any public comment. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Holy cannoli. We're out of here tonight.
You have anything you got to think?
Nope.
Motion to adjourn, yeah.
my dog seconds that.
Any discussion? I did seriously consider postponing the whole meeting until the 15th, but I figured it would give us, we got some stuff that we got out of the way tonight, and it'll give us just one thing to focus on the 15th, so. I do apologize for a short meeting, but we've got all the housekeeping taken care of for the month. And we can focus on bids on the 15th. So with that, everybody in favor of adjourning, raise your hand, say aye. Anybody opposed? Okay, thank you.
Thank you all.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Chris.